Straight ahead on CCX News, a major school makeover. The project coming soon to Brooklyn Center High School that officials say is long overdue. Plus, connecting kids across the world. Some Robbinsdale residents use America's pastime to build bridges with kids in West Africa. And later, a love of landmarks. The Golden Valley artist who brings her creativity to famous places. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Big changes are on the way in the Brooklyn Center School District.
Planning is underway on a project that would put $30 million worth of renovations into Brooklyn Center schools. As Delane Cleveland reports, the construction would modernize classrooms and improve security.
Our kids deserve to have learning spaces that are reflective of their potential.
The halls of Brooklyn Center High School are practically empty this time of year as staff members work to prepare for another school year. But when classes resume after Labor Day, Superintendent Carly Baker says the students will enter a building that's out of date.
Far too much time has gone by where our students are being asked to, on a daily basis, learn in an environment that is not equipped to deliver the very best and create the very best and brightest.
The building was erected in the early 1960s, and if you look closely, it's easy to spot the wear and tear on everything from desks to cabinets and everything in between.
It doesn't send the right message to our community or to our students about what we believe about their worth.
That's why, starting in January, the district will begin a project that will give the school nearly $30 million in necessary improvements to classroom spaces.
Each one of our classrooms will be renovated so that they are up to date. Classroom furnishings will be done so that they are brought into our current decade.
Overall, it will be a complete transformation that will also create separate spaces between the middle and high schools, which are all housed in the same building. Security is also going to be a major component of the construction. Under the current design, the receptionists can't even see who's at the door, but with safety being paramount, they plan to make significant upgrades.
We have to be very aware of outside intruders, forces, things that would jeopardize the safety of staff and students potentially.
Baker says the improvements are long overdue, but they're finally possible thanks to a voter referendum that passed in November.
We are incredibly grateful to our community because it sends a larger message from the community that they believe in investing in our children.
In Brooklyn Center, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Construction will begin in January and take about a year to complete. During that time, students in grades 9 through 12 will have to relocate to a yet-to-be-determined building within the district.
The city of Robbinsdale is about to get a much-needed upgrade for its fire department.
We're fortunate enough that the City Council and its citizens support the Robbinsdale Fire Department in the way it does. The apparatus that we'll be replacing is Engine 9.
Engine number 9, shown here, is about 30 years old. This month, the Robbinsdale City Council voted to buy a new $720,000 pumper engine, which will be delivered next year. The new truck will look a lot like this one and will have several advantages over the old one, including specially chosen materials on the inside that can be easily wiped down. That will allow firefighters to clean debris from fires, which can cause cancer.
The opportunity for us to continue to utilize current technology to keep our firefighters safe, as well as perform our duty, is something that we take very seriously.
Along with the new truck, the fire department is also buying new hoods for their firefighters. The hoods filter out cancer-causing particles.
New Hope Police can say they have something not many neighboring departments have, a police force at full strength. New Hope has a total of 34 officers. 3 were hired this year, including one from Dallas, Texas. A department at full strength isn't something that comes easily.
And we're actually sitting very well compared to our neighbors. We're at full strength, and I'm happy that we don't have to hire right now, because hiring is not easy right now for police officers. Not as many people are going into the field.
Overall crime is down 15% in New Hope over last year. The type of crime that saw the biggest spike was counterfeiting and forgery. That's up 49% over last year. Thanks to a couple of Robbinsdale natives, baseball is no longer a strange sport in a tiny West African nation.
Now, a few years ago, they introduced kids to the game, and now, as Eric Nelson reports, some of those young athletes are in the Northwest Metro ready to show off their talents.
A lot of more kids are getting signed up for the game, and they're learning a lot, and that's pretty fun.
From Africa to North America, baseball is bridging two continents.
It's really taking hold, and there's a lot of interest.
Team Benin has arrived in the Northwest Burbs, ready to play ball and explore Minnesota.
They'll be in at the Mall of America. We went to the cabin today, and they've been having a lot of fun so far.
The roots of this unlikely story go back to 2010. On a trip to Benin, Gary Tonziger had an epiphany. Africa was a potential gold mine.
That's sort of an untapped resource if you're thinking about baseball.
Tonziger eventually teamed up with Robbinsdale resident Wally Langfellow. Their mission was to teach baseball in this tiny West African nation and make a positive impact.
It's a conduit to other things, education, opportunity.
More than 500 kids now play baseball in Benin, a country where soccer is dominant.
The kids are getting better, right? They're playing better fundamental baseball. They've learned the game. They've played longer than our last group.
Last year, Team Benin visited Target Field and received a special visit from Justin Morneau. This year's group showed up wearing MLB caps and has a strong allegiance to another ex-Minnesota Twins star.
They like Tory Hunter. You know, Tory Hunter is my favorite player.
During their 2-week visit to the Twin Cities, Team Benin is staying at Robbinsdale United Church of Christ.
It's what we do as a congregation. We house homeless folks as shelter a couple times a year. We're a sanctuary congregation for undocumented folks.
The church also has a congregation from Togo, which borders Benin. On Friday, they got together for a special meal where French was the dominant language.
They're going to get to speak in their native language tonight and not have a translator, and that just makes the kids feel like they're at home.
On the field, Benin could be a sleeping baseball giant that someday produces a major league player.
For sure, I'm positive about it.
In Robbinsdale, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
Team Benin will be going to a Minnesota Twins game tonight. That's Monday evening, and they'll be going to Twins camp on Tuesday.
It is hard to believe, but if you've been to the store lately, you know it is already time to buy school supplies. Nonprofits in our area are kicking off school supply drives to help families in need this year. This year, PRISM is collecting school supplies for their big distribution event on August 24th. It will be their first distribution event at their new location in Golden Valley. They accept any and all supplies, but the items that are most needed are quality backpacks.
Backpacks are always the greatest need. Good quality, sturdy backpacks. If you can think of the child who might drag their backpack along to the bus stop, having quality products makes a big difference. We want them to last.
And you can drop off school supplies at PRISM's Golden Valley location. Last year, PRISM gave away backpacks and school supplies to 650 children. Families must be pre-registered to receive the supplies. Still ahead on CCX News, art you may recognize. A Golden Valley artist shares her love of state landmarks.
Plus, highlights from the Gold Division Championship at the big Crystal Frolics softball tournament.
But first, a day to soak up the sun on Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine and highs in the 80s. A Plymouth company is getting an extra year to meet job hiring goals after receiving a $1 million grant from the state. Smith's Medical moved to its facility on Nathan Lane in 2015. The company received state funds to help it expand and grow jobs. Since receiving the funding, Smith's Medical has added 137 jobs in Plymouth. That's 25 short of its hiring agreement. The company believes it will exceed the hiring target with the extra year, rather. Smith's Medical employs more than 6,000 people, making it the third largest med tech firm in the state, behind Medtronic and 3M Healthcare. This weekend, hundreds of artists will show off their work at the Uptown Art Fair in Minneapolis.
One of those artists is a Golden Valley digital illustrator, and in this week's Business Matters, we meet the founder and creator behind United Goods.
So let's go down to my office then.
From her Golden Valley home, Christy Johnson runs a business that swells with home state pride.
So these are the little state icons that I make. So they're just little guys.
Welcome to United Goods.
Yep, I have Paul Bunyan, and I recently did the electric fetus because they had their 50th anniversary.
From her downstairs studio, Christy creates digital drawings of state landmarks that become small framed art for homes and cabins across the country.
That's what I started off doing, was Minnesota, and then I started doing art shows in other states. So then I had to draw for other states and kind of became hooked then, and now I want to do something for a few for every state. I'm up to like 43 states right now, I think.
As a graphic design major, Christy never imagined her interest in drawing Minnesota landmarks would result in a full-time business.
I like drawing them, but to have people connect with them so much has been really rewarding, and it's fun to see their reactions when they come into a booth at an art show or something.
It's truly a homegrown business. Christy's dad makes the frames, her mom paints them. More than 80 Minnesota designs sell online. Christy has candles and pillows too.
Yeah.
But it's when she travels to art fairs.
So this is the notebook that I bring to art shows, that I write down ideas that people give me.
That she gets inspiration for other states.
A water tower in Milwaukee that someone suggested I should draw, or a house on the rock, which is a good one.
Turns out Wisconsin and Texas have plenty of home state pride too. They're among top sellers for Christy.
People in Texas love their Texas landmarks, and they're very proud of their state, like Minnesotans are.
Minnesota is #1 for sales, and this business owner's heart is rooted in home.
Every time I think I'm done with Minnesota state icons, then I think of a new neighborhood I haven't touched yet, or somebody gives me a suggestion at an art show.
It can take Christy up to 16 hours to design a landmark for her United Goods website. And she has also done a few custom international landmarks, such as the Eiffel Tower. It's fun to check out her site and see all the different designs she has.
I bet. She's really come up with a good idea there.
Yes. Still ahead, a choir performance worthy of awards for a group of local singers.
But first, a local baseball team gets a send-off as they head to Cooperstown, New York for a big tournament. John Jacobson is in next.
The Crystal Frolics softball tournament will look a little different in future years, with the removal of fields at Becker Park and a shift to Welcome Park as the main site. Championships were on the line Sunday. That included the Gold Division Final. After trailing early, Team Stoop of Blaine rallies as Jason McGovern's liner gets out in a hurry for a 3-run shot to make it 3-3. A bid for more is taken away. Ryan Baki's drive hauled in by Mayhem's Chris Retman at the fence. It's 4-3 Stoop after 1 inning. In the second, Team Stoop gets 3 more, 2 of them courtesy of this Justin Hanna homer to right center. It's 7-3 after 2. Baki smacks a hit past the second baseman to play to run in the 4th. Team Stoop seems to be in control. They take an 11-4 lead into the 7th inning. Mayhem, though, is not done. Randy Cunningham lifts a high drive that's out for a 2-run shot, and Coon Rapids-based Mayhem creeps a little closer. Jonathan Basher follows suit with a home run of his own. Mayhem not out of it yet. They pull within 11-8. But the rally falls short. A nice play at shortstop for the final out as Team Stoop captures the Gold Division title with an 11-9 win. In the Bronze Division final, it's CPD softball taking the top spot, beating Midwest Monsters 11-9 for the championship. Wayzata's American Legion baseball team lost in the sub-state tournament championship game a year ago to Excelsior. Those teams met up in sub-state 4 play on Friday night. In the bottom of the second inning, Excelsior's Will Sturrock muscles a base hit to score Mason Nadolny. Excelsior leads 2-0 after 2. Bottom of the third, Excelsior with the bases loaded. Sturrock hits it hard again, but a nice pickup by Wayzata shortstop Keegan Nickel. He throws out Sturrock to end the inning. In the 4th, Excelsior adds to its lead. Jared Wandersee's base hit plates Hunter Whaling, and it's 4-0. Wayzata gets on the board in the 5th inning. Number 9 hitter Max McAfee slicing a hit to score Nickel, cutting the lead to 4-1. 7th inning, Wayzata threatens again with runners on the corners, but Charles Engdahl flies out to end the game. Wayzata suffers its first loss of that double elimination tournament. But things were different on Saturday. After Excelsior eliminated Hopkins, Wayzata defeated Excelsior 4-3, the state's top-ranked Legion team. Post 118 is headed to state. They'll take on Sub-State 9 champion Coon Rapids in the first round. That game is Thursday afternoon at 12:30 at Richfield High School. Edina is the host team for this year's state tournament. In Sub-State 11 play, Osseo was shut out 3-0 by St. Michael in the championship Sunday. After losing to the Mikes on Saturday morning, Post 172 came back and beat Monticello 3-1 later that day thanks to a home run by Matt Bezdacek. But at St. Michael, taking the title, they'll play Eastview in the first round of state. Champlin was eliminated by Ham Lake in Sub-State 9. It's an exciting week ahead for two local youth baseball teams. 22 players and their families are packing their bags for Cooperstown, New York, home of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Sunday night, there was a send-off for the two 12 and under Brooklyn Park Bulldogs teams as they prepare to play in one of 13 week-long tournaments played each summer in Cooperstown. Members of the Brooklyn Park Fire Department also came out Sunday and presented the team with a check for $1,000. It takes a lot of money to take a trip like this, with a cost to house each player and their coaches $1,000 apiece. The end of a long journey for the fundraising families and the players who are ready to play ball.
I think it'll be really fun because it's something none of us have done before. And yeah, it's just a new experience.
It's really great, and all the families have really bonded together. It's been really good to show the boys that you can, even if you weren't teammates before, that you can kind of all work together and meet. We exceeded our goal by $15,000 for fundraising. And this is kind of the culmination of their Little League career. So this is the last year our association plays baseball, BPBA. And so this is their kind of final trip as teammates. So
it gives our members a great feel of giving back to the community and in more ways than just working for the community. A lot of us in the union, we've been here. I've been on the other side of going out to different trips and stuff. So
there are a handful of Minnesota teams playing in the tournament that begins on Sunday, including one from Wayzata. Each team is guaranteed to play 7 games during the week. That's it for sports. We're back with more in a moment.
And finally, the Partners in Praise Girls Choir just made it back from Greece, and they brought a few medals home with them.
This group of young women travels every year to sing in international competition, and this year they sang in Greece. They received a gold award in the world music category and a silver for sacred music. The choir is now recruiting 8th to 12th grade young ladies for their 25th season of singing. Last month we got to attend their Bon Voyage concert, and we will leave you today with their internationally award-winning sound. Because righteous